you're in a very unique spot, especially in this being a venture investor. And with that, you know, being in the side where you can actually see what a lot of providers use, how patient care is actually managed, and a lot of the needs of the healthcare system. Uh, I'm curious though, what is something that most people don't see in the healthcare industry, and what is something that has kind of shaped your healthcare investment thesis when starting Providence Ventures?
Yeah, another great question. I look at my background just to give some insights to the audience. I started out my career in the investment banking world, and I worked with kind of large companies, did the whole pitches and all the pitch books and the Excel models, et cetera. And then I moved into private equity, where I worked with kind of middle market companies, including some healthcare companies. But when I came to Providence, like I really understood very quickly just the reality of the healthcare system overall. And there are some truths that you've highlighted earlier in this conversation, Kyle, around that longer sales cycle and like kind of the challenges of operating in this market. And I don't think, like many entrepreneurs earlier on, especially back in 2015, 2016, kind of just jumped into healthcare thinking that if they had a solution outside of healthcare, it could easily go into healthcare because those inefficiencies in healthcare can easily be overcome because in the airline industry it was overcome. And so like airlines and healthcare are like very similar. And so like I get the premise around it, and like I really love that enthusiasm that those entrepreneurs had, and many of them are still very successful out in the market. But like the one thing I realize is that healthcare is just very slow to change. And those sales cycles are just going to stay long. Like there's no way to really reduce them, mainly because that's just how budgeting is done. um, like we're part of the budget process at our system too, and so like that's just how the industry works. And being a part of a health system venture fund gives me exposure to that, where I kind of understand. And then the second aspect is like there are particular groups within a health system and within a broader IDN or payer that are more innovative and more forward leaning than others. And it's mainly due to like just like the specifics of how they operate, meaning like they may be a more leaner type group, they may be more open. And so I think having an ally within a health system like a corporate venture fund like us can help you navigate to those groups more quickly and get your product off the ground. Because like healthcare overall is slow, but it's not like not every piece of it is slow. And so I think that's something that I learned as well, that coming from the outside you could just be like, oh yeah, everyone's slow, everything's slow, but like some things are less slow than others. And it's really cool to see and be on the inside. And it's something that being outside of the healthcare realm, even in investing, like you just don't really see very easily.